Hi, I'm Liz Cully, and welcome back to Cool, Cool, Cool. Each week, I give you a glimpse into what I think is cool and chat with a ton of people that are definitely cool. No topic is off bounds unless, I guess, it's not cool. Welcome to Cool, Cool, Cool. You know when there's people in your orbit and you're going to cross paths, but you don't know how it's going to go? Luckily for me, Jade Catta Preta is the best of all time. You'll hear me shortly admit to her that I was quite jealous of her at one time, but it's tough because if you listen to this show often, I always say, don't meet your heroes. Celebrities are monsters. But Jade is neither a monster. Well, she's a celebrity. So she's a celebrity, but she's not a monster, and she was wonderful to meet. She came to my pride party. I don't know how I didn't meet her that day. I definitely didn't eat anything and drank a bottle of rosé and then jumped in the pool with all my clothes on. So perhaps that's why we didn't meet. But I've really enjoyed listening to her on the Ali Colbert show, which you should check out. And when you just meet someone, you're like, oh, I love you. I adore you. And that is how I feel about Jade. Luckily for me, I say that a lot on this show. I try to bring you guys people in my world that either I admire that I haven't met before, and I can use this as a vehicle to meet them and get to know them. And hopefully they're not monsters and it all goes well. Or people that I've met that I just adore and I love and that I want you to meet. So without further ado, please meet Jade. When did you move to LA?
20 years ago, but I was bi-coastal for 6 years when I shot Manhattan Love Story in New York. And then I just had a place in Williamsburg for a bit.
And where did you move from originally?
I'm from Brazil originally, and then Virginia. And then I went to school in Boston, Emerson.
Oh, that's where my wife went.
Really? Are we the same class?
And you guys are the same age.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet we're the same class.
You're 1 year younger than her. I looked you up 39. On Wikipedia's. She just turned 40.
I didn't say Wikipedia because I was like, don't be worried about my 5 rating. Yeah, so then I went
you guys probably know all the same people.
All the
you people. Emerson people are like, well, she wasn't out in college.
Gay by May.
She dated, she worked at the Verizon wireless store. She'll give you the whole thing. Now,
Wait, I know her.
No, you have to. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way because you guys, and then she came out here and she did that entertainment
I did that too.
This is psychotic.
LA program?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you guys, there's no way
we
you
both
don't.
lived at the Oakwood Apartments at the same time.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm dead. God. See, dude. I felt like you and I were always destined to meet somehow, but here we are.
We are. It's so funny because I used to love the Oakwood Apartments. I thought it was so fancy that I lived there. I would soak in the hot tub every night and be like, oh my God, I made it. My business of acting book I'm reading. I'm like, oh my God, I made it. And then I got this crazy rash, all over my arm. And I was like, oh shit. And so I went to the doctor and she's like, yeah, probably don't go in the hot tub ever again.
Ever.
And I put this ointment. 2 days later, I'm walking through Ron Jeremy's in the hot tub. It turned out his kid was a Disney actor at the time. And so they were living at the Oakwood Apartments. So I basically was soaking with every porn star that ever created.
Yeah, but that was also a different time. I've had a few porn stars. I'm very close friends with one. We've talked on this show.
Tell me who, because I have some.
Tasha Rain.
Oh, I don't know that one, but I used to be really into porn stars.
Yeah, I saw Danny Daniels, who I love, and Sherry DeVille, because they're real life best friends, and you can tell when they have sex that they're really into each other, which for a queer woman is the best. Because there's
never queer sex that I believe.
Danny Daniels and Sherry DeVille. Let me tell you,
I'm writing it down.
But I saw them. Rachel made me go. She drove me to San Bernardino and made me go to the Renaissance Fair because she claims that I don't do anything fun. Let me tell you what's not fun. The Renaissance Fair. It's everybody smells strange. It's very warm. But we walked in and Rachel says I complain. And yeah, I do complain. I like bougie. You now know. I like bougie, controlled, chill.
You don't want to do a braid like this, put on a dress and don't get it like a turkey leg?
Well, right, no. And I was like, I don't want to be here. This is so weird. And Rachel's like, we need to do something fun that's like not about eating and drinking. And I'm like, this is only about
By
eating
the
and
way,
drinking.
very Emerson event. That's like an Emerson person event. Like, it'll be fun. It'll be magical. We can have names.
Ugh. So we walk in and I'm already like not in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? I don't like this. It's too hot. Where is San Bernardino? Why are we here? I'm like, there was no VIP parking. I was like, everything's very dusty. Like, why is everybody like talking in character? And
Are you dressed up or no?
No, I was in black jeans and like Converse and a t-shirt. Actually, I had a t-shirt that said asshole on it. I remember. And I look over and it's Danny Daniels and Sherry DeVille together holding hands, like kind of like, because they love.
Yeah.
Because I then find out, because I'm a weirdo,
yeah,
they're super into the Renaissance Fair because they like dress up and fuck. And I was like, Rachel, what do I do? Those are my favorite porn stars. And she's like, really? When are you watching porn? I was like, when I'm on work vacation. And then I didn't know what to do. And Rachel's like, go up and say something. Like, Tasha, like, other porn star, like, do it. And I was like, no, I can't. And so I didn't. And then another time, Angela White, who's like the most famous.
I don't know.
Sounding like a total creep.
Listen, I got off porn this year because Sean's like not really into it. So I kind of like got off. I was like really into it, like new names and stuff. And
okay, Angela White is typically like AVN star. I think she's won the last several years, the AVN
yes,
star.
I was up to host this year and I just found out I didn't get it. And I'm like devastated. Little Dicky or somebody like that. Some rapper.
Little Dicky?
Or no, not that guy. Not the white guy. Like some other Little Dicky. The
or
other
like Little Baby. They're all named Baby.
The little guy. Yeah, got it. And I was like,
that's so annoying because I actually tried to do something on the red carpet there many, many years ago and it like fell through. And
wait, we should try.
Why don't we just do it?
I think it would be so funny. I wanted to come out like in a furry, like those furry costumes. Those like how people fuck in those animal furries.
Yeah.
I wanted to come out like that and then take it off. And then underneath I have like a really funny outfit and like a dill, like I'm wearing a strap on.
Wait, you know what we should do? That's amazing. You know what we should do? Whatever. Welcome to Cool, where nothing makes sense. And also it all ends up just being like about business because that's who I am. Why don't you, me, and Allie like pitch some like trifecta, like queer chick, like side stage talk show where I'll like bring them over to you guys and like drop them to you too.
I would love to do that. And I know they're always looking for stuff because like
let's do that.
Yeah, we should do it. I have a friend who's writing on it. I can talk to him.
I'm like dead ass. It would be great. It would be wonderful. And I'll like play like the straight man where I'll be like, so like talk to me about the production level. Like I'm so into it. Anyway,
how big does your butthole get?
Yeah. I saw Angela White, if anybody's listening who knows Angela, on the street in the morning, like walk. I used to in Hollywood. So I kind of figured out where she lived, which was like creepy, but I like saw you can't go Google Angela White and let me then like text
me. Should I do it now? I'm on my computer.
Yeah. Google Angela White. There's no missing Angela White. And she is really wild. I'm like dying to get her on this podcast. I don't know if I'm like
why does she go by Angela White? What's her real name?
I don't know.
Oh, like big titties.
No, like the biggest titties. And so I saw her on the street going to the gym. And so I messaged my friend who goes by Tasha Rain. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? She's like, oh my God, go up to her right now and tell her we're friends. And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. It's like 9 a.m. I'm walking to work. I think she's walking to the gym. I was like
it's fine. I think they love it when they get recognized. It's like a thing. They love voyeurism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a really weird night once with a very well-known performer named Sophie D when I first moved to LA. DEE. It was weird. Anyway, I was like, whoa, these motherfuckers go hard.
I'm friends with Lumi Ray. She's amazing.
Who?
Lumi Ray. She's like a younger dancer, but she's really up and coming, rising. Oh, wow. Sophie D is intense. She's got big eyes.
Big eyes, big boobs, big tits. She's teeny. Anyway, moving right along. Let's do that. I would like to do that.
I would love to. So I was never into like big tits. I never thought I could handle them. I was always into like little tiny titties. And now I'm like only into big tits.
I've always only been into big
tits with my girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, welcome. That's all I've ever been into, especially like undercover, like hot, a little bit more tomboy or mask presenting lesbians with big tits. Like, get out of here. Like,
Get
see
out.
me.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
it.
It turned into like, it's so funny because like in my guy relationships, I'd always be like, no, like I'm super overly sexual, but I would turn them down a lot. And now I'm that guy. I'm the guy. I'm always like I'm always like perving and trying.
Welcome.
You know?
Welcome to my life. Wait,
It's
so
karma.
when did you first start dating women?
I mean, always like in Emerson, I was already kind of dating women, but then I would never like commit to a woman. I would always like date a dude and then like hook up with a girl. And so I feel like this last year has been like really my first year as an adult, like living a full gay lifestyle. And I realized
with your current girlfriend?
Yeah.
Damn.
And like,
who I adore.
You know how like she's like a serious, you know.
So serious. You went like art les.
I know.
Like literally. You went like intellectual art les.
But I'm total pan in that way. I really am. Like I prefer women now. Like I don't think I can ever see myself with a guy ever again. I mean, I want to see myself with this person forever. But
Yay, oh my God, invite me to the wedding. It would be my
I realized that I had a lot of like, I still had some inner homophobia going on and some like fear about like fully being authentically like gay.
I think that's a real thing. Listen, I still sometimes am like, what did I do? I'm just kidding. I mean, I couldn't see myself with any other person than Rachel, but I definitely, I've always been attracted to men and women. I always, like, as much as I had a crush on 902, like, I wanted to fuck Luke Perry, like everyone. Like,
I just wanted to fuck everyone. There's not even a name for it. It's just horny kids.
Yeah. And I was always into it. And then I would have like be with guys and have like threesomes, or I would be with women on the side, or it'd be like a one night thing. And it was hard for me to really go like more publicly and intimately with women. But when I moved to LA, I just kind of took it as an opportunity to be like, fuck it, I'm doing this. Like,
I wish I did it earlier. I have like some regret in my heart about like, oh wow, this feels really good. I wish I did this years ago.
Yeah, but it all happened the way it was supposed to happen because you guys met, and like it's wonderful, and like, you know,
it's nice. I had this like panic all the time. I mean, I still have anxiety because I do comedy, but like I'm calm now in a weird way that I can't explain. I think it was always me being like, just do it. Like. And I remember the first time I broke up with my ex, who was like the sweetest, nicest guy. Like I kept just being like, I'm gay in my head. Like I just wanted to say like, I'm gay. Mm-hmm. And then I broke up with him and I was like telling all my friends, like, I think I'm gay. And they're like, you've always been gay. I'm like, no. Like
you're like, but I'm ready to say it.
Anticlimactic. Like I didn't even get to like come out because I've always been kind of gay. And like, I've always been so open about it. So I wanted like kind of this moment where my friends like took me seriously. And they're like, yeah. Like, and I'm like, no, I'm like really gay. Like, you know, so I don't know.
Were you saying that to a friend group of mostly like cis straight people, or to your gay friends?
My gay friends were like, okay, Jade, like you'll end up with because I would always be like, I'm gay. And then like be with all these different women and then end up dating a dude. Like seriously. So they never took me seriously.
Gay men or gay women? See, sorry, I'm asking so many questions. It does make a difference, though.
I at Emerson, I dated a couple guys that people were like, they're gay.
Did you guys have sex?
We did, but like, yeah, we did. We always, I mean, if it was sexless, I wouldn't be in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm too Brazilian.
Oh my God. Speaking of dating, speaking of sex, speaking of Brazilians. So when I went to the new school, I was at a Toots and the Maytals concert at BB King, I believe it was. And I came out and there was he was actually quite small, short, but very handsome man named Rodrigo Gallo Colpes. And he ended up being my boyfriend for 6 months. He was from Fortaleza.
Wow.
But little shorty. He had tats everywhere. He was really, really sweet. He could speak basically no English. I have a lot of family in Mexico, and my Spanish was better back then. It was wild. I can't remember why we broke up. I think it's because I just like left New York, but then I got really drunk and told him he had a small dick, which he did, which he didn't appreciate. However,
it's like so who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I know how to say one phrase in Portuguese. Vou escovar os dientes.
I'm going to brush my teeth?
That's all I remember. So
Wait, you
anytime
literally
I
had a 90-day fiance moment. Like
Hundo. Oh my God, I love that show so much. I just got into it recently, so I'm like so fresh into it. But yeah, I had a 90-day. And actually, you know what's funny is so he moved to Hawaii. I remember we talked once. He had a baby. He like met some woman. He moved to Hawaii. Like, bless his heart. He was like from like he was a surfer.
But the
Like
list is
that.
like, yeah, it's like, it's not the city. It's like a more chill.
Yeah, it's like it's like beautiful, whatever. But I just die laughing because I'm like, oh my God, that's all I remember how to say. Literally. Do you still have a lot of family in Brazil?
Yeah, my extended family. I go there a lot because I do stand up in Portuguese. And so I went right before COVID to film a documentary about like coming back to Brazil, reconnecting with my family, doing stand up in Portuguese for the first time. And I have like this 20-hour like Google Doc folder of just footage of it. And we tried to sell it and then sold it. And then COVID happened. They re-released it to us. Like, so now just every year we do it like an interview to be like, where am I? So now I have all this content that I'm like one day going to make into a documentary, but I made a lot of friends there because when I first came out, I had like a camera crew with me. So people are like, what's this?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, I want to be,
Yeah.
And so I met like every comic, literally. I brought a couple of them over. Now they're crushing here in America. Like, so I've kind of like created this bridge, which is really important to me. And we'll talk about this obviously, but I'm trying to start a podcast that's like a Brazilian in America podcast kind of a thing. So I could like introduce people to these comics.
Wait,
and, like,
oh my God, do you know who you are?
Whoa.
You are the Brazilian Sofia Vergara.
Vergada?
Sure.
How did you say it? You said her name so white. Vergada. Vergada.
Say it one more time.
Sofia Vergada.
Sofia Vergara.
At least you can
also go back and listen. Speaking of our mutual best friend, Allie Colbert, go back and listen to one of my first interviews on the Allie Colbert show where she thought my Instagram name was Listen to Lice or Lisa or something. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was so crazy.
We're trying to do a whole like, P.S. Me and Allie are going to G Flip on Friday with a couple other ones.
Too gay for me.
Dude, I'm into it. I don't know what happened. I listen to it every day. Like
what? What do you listen to?
I listen to her album like I'm into it.
Fucking. This is some new. That's because you're too new. You new lesbian. You're in this like I'm still like.
No, I think I actually like the drumming. It's crazy. I think I actually like the music.
Oh boy,
I don't know what's happening with me. Everyone's making fun of me, but I love it.
We have to unpack that. But yeah, okay, but you are the new Sofia Vergara. I said that wrong again. I hate this. Let's just continue moving on because I'm going to spiral into hell. But that's what she did. She like was in Miami and like put everybody on and started that agency.
That's
and,
what
like,
I
brought
want.
them all.
That's you. Here. Because by the way, they have insane success in Brazil, like millions and millions of followers.
Oh yeah.
They never feel fully fulfilled until they make it into the American market, right? Because that's like the big time, But like Rafi Bastos came over and he's already like sold out a whole like world tour and like he's crushing. And so it's exciting. It feels like, because I just want to work there. That's like my whole thing. I want to be in a novella.
Oh my God, I want that for you. Okay. I grew up watching that, like being like, what am I even watching right now? But it worked and I loved it. And it's just so crazy.
Wait, tell me, so your mom is Mexican?
No, nobody's actually Mexican. So my godmother's mother moved to Mexico in 1938 in Puerto Vallarta and opened up like an art gallery and like a restaurant. Like
that's the gay area though too, right?
What?
Is that the gay area?
It is gay.
Yeah.
And they still have a property there. My godfather was like a dad to me. I was incredibly close to him. So I just grew up like my parents met in Puerto Vallarta. Like my dad sailed down there. Anytime. You come stay with me anytime.
Really?
Anytime
do you go like Christmas time?
I do usually go Christmas time. Yeah. We bought a house that I can't afford. So we will be staying here, even though it's like basically free to go down there. But it's like when we usually take ravioli, my dog, like we go down and we chill.
Cheryl's here too.
Oh, I love that. Ravioli is probably gonna like scream in 5 seconds, and that'll like ruin the whole.
What kind of dog is it?
She is a Chihuahuas. She's Chihuahua, Cocker Spaniel, miniature pincher.
Mini pinch Chihuahua. I'm grabbing her.
Oh my God, let me see. Welcome to Cool, where all I really care about is people's little Chihuahuas.
Look at this little bugger.
Hey, little bug. Well, Ravioli's in another room, but she basically looks like that, but with silky long Cocker Spaniel hair.
Oh, like the wiry long hair.
No, like silken, like cocker spaniel.
She doesn't like the
Ravioli's kind of a beauty queen if you want. I'll show you later. But
much.
we can, we usually go down Christmas. We went down in April. I used to go down 3-4 times a year. But so I really grew up like being very lucky growing up in California. You're obviously, this was Mexico. So you're around tons of Mexicans and Mexican culture. I went down there literally my whole life. I was raised by Mexican women. So to the point where when I went in April, which was true, Rosie, who's like worked for my godparents for 50 years or something, was like, "Ooh, Elizabeth, a little gordita." I was like, yeah, I know, I'm fat. I get it. She was just like,
my mom is like exactly like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, get out of here. And then like, when are you having a baby? I'm like, that's gonna be complicado.
You guys gonna have a baby?
Mm-hmm. I'm like in it.
Like you're in it. Like you want to carry?
I don't want. It's not about wanting. It's about doing. We're like going to the doctor tomorrow.
Oh my God, can you imagine my girlfriend pregnant?
No, it'd be hot though. I'd be into it.
No way, never. I don't think we're gonna have kids.
Oh, well, you can just be an auntie to mine. Honestly, I said that to Allie too. You all can come over. I was very lucky to have my parents' friends who were my aunts and uncles, like literally were my parents. I mean, my godparents, the ones in Mexico, were so instrumental in my life, like especially when I became an adult. Also, because I like dated a bunch of hot dudes down there. I would go to Mexico and like disappear, and they like let me have that. So I have like quite a community in Vallarta that is very close for me, and like I'm very connected there. And it's been wonderful because Rachel, who's like from the East Coast, never fucking went to Mexico, and we go down there and she loves it, and she just like gets how important Mexico is to me and my people there. But also like my mom's best friend from growing up, like I would go spend 3 weeks there in the summer. Like I just am lucky that I had like my parents' friends. So that will be very important to me. So come on over. Anytime.
Yeah, I did. In Brazil, we had that. And then we came to America and we were like very isolated. And then we became like very codependent as a family. Like we'd all go into the dressing room at Gap. They're like, do you guys all need jeans? I'm like, no. And I was just reading a book in here. Like, just
do you have siblings?
I have a sister. We're really close. She's in Virginia.
That's
where
nice.
Are Charlottesville, which is lovely. It's so nice, but getting there is like a nightmare. So
don't you have to do United?
No, I'm a Delta girl.
Yeah, duh, same. That's some rich people shit.
I can fucking taste it. People are like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, MQDs. Send me some.
Literally. I'm like, some Biscoff spread. Yeah. So it's funny. So I didn't meet you, but you came to my pride party. But I didn't meet you that day. I saw you on the list because I went the night before. Andrew and I were doing the list. We had this, I was telling Chantel this. We had this like app called Partyful where you like, it's kind of like a, I don't know, what is that fucking like paperless post, but like millennial, like Gen Z. But they had not, somebody actually, speaking of Brazilians, it all comes back to Brazilians. Somehow did you meet all those Brazilians that were at the pride party?
I didn't meet a single Brazilian.
Okay. So apparently, even though it was obviously very invite only.
Yeah.
Andrew sent it, or Drew or somebody sent it to some gay, and some gay fucking posted it on their public Instagram.
That's why we couldn't go inside, right?
Yep. Correct.
Who does that?
Dude, I don't know. And oh, by the way, because that's, I think, the second time Chantel no, Allie didn't come. But like, I
had come before.
Yeah, I like throw my parties. Everybody knows. You know when you're on the list. You know when you're not. I curate them. I'm very specific. I know who I want to blend and be friends later. And I love it when people become friends. I like plan shit. I also don't invite riffraff to like places like that. So all of a sudden they're like, there's 500 people on the list. I was like, that's fucking insane. And I'm like, please tell me they didn't get a address. And they're like, no, it automatically sent them the address. So we start to panic. I had a spray tan that I was supposed to wipe off in 5 hours. We're at the 7th hour. I don't know if you remember, but I looked quite hot dog, the hue of hot dog that day. And I'm sitting there, but like we're deleting people off the list. However, the number wasn't changing. And listen, I'm no genius. I'm not a mathematician.
You're no chemist.
I'm no chemist. However, I was like, it's kind of strange. And then Andrew was like, oh my God, I didn't set like a limit. So it just kept taking people off the waiting list. Okay. So
And adding the list.
correct. So a gaggle of Brazilians were like, and by the way, we're sitting there for hours.
Gaggle is the official term.
Googling each person. And I'm like, Voz, covarde diente. Like, I'm like, running around, right? And I'm like, oh my God. So we ended up, the Brazilians came anyway, and we like let them be there, which is why I wondered if you guys had met. And recently I had a fundraiser and Rachel kept being like, invite the Brazilian lesbians. Remember the Brazilian lesbians? I'm like, I never met the Brazilian lesbians.
I didn't see that. What the fuck? There's a lot of really good looking, great people at that party. And Natasha was there from Cool House.
But I mean, of course, Natasha's always there from Cool House.
I met her because she was at one of my shows in Palm Springs. And I was like, are there any lesbians in the crowd? And they're like, woo!
Yeah, that
and
tracks.
Like, I'm here with my wife and my girlfriend. I was like, yes. And then
God. I don't want to hear about the throuple anymore. We've talked about it on this show. They came to one of my comedy shows, making out everywhere. Throuple. They invited us to a birthday party. It ended up being a sex party. I don't know what's going on. Those two are out of control.
It was fun. And then I did a thing for Cool House. So it was really cool. Like I never really it was just a great, and then Rachel was there, who I adore too, another lesbian comic. What's Rachel's last name?
Oh, Scanlon.
Two Dykes.
I know. See, this is what I mean. I love it. I love all my friends coalescing. But here's the thing. So I see your name. Have to tell you the truth. And I was like, oh my God, I know who that girl is. They're like, who is it? Did you invite her? And I was like, I don't know how she got on the list. Like,
stop!
No. Just wait. I go, she's like a big deal. And they're like,
come on.
Well, how do you think she got on the list? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe like Allie invited her, but I'm not sure. And they're like, well, who is she? And I was like, I'll tell you who Jade is.
Oh.
Jade got the job I always wanted.
What?
All in the 90s and 2000s.
The Soup?
She was the host of The Soup.
My dream job that never went.
Here's the thing. I remember when you got that gig and I was like, who the fuck is this? And they're like, Brazilian comic. And I'm like, what? And I will show you. And actually, I should try to find the clip. I think it's in my Google Drive. I did like a horrible, I think it was for Reddit. I did like a test show where it was kind of like The Soup, where like things would pop up on Reddit lists. It was supposed to be like branded content, and like the log line was like Chelsea Handler meets The Soup, and it's like any host kind of person like me or any person The Soup was fucking iconic, even better before Joel, quite frankly. Like
way better. I was a John Henson era girl.
John Henson, like I would come home and watch that show religiously. So there you are on the list that won't stop listing for my Pride party. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. How did she get on this list? And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I say? Like, this is so crazy. I'm like, I wonder what she's like. I've been wondering for years. And I've been so deeply jealous of this person. And then I like saw you, kind of tried to say hi, but like saw you in pictures. But then I decided to not eat a single morsel of food and drank 2 bottles of rosé. And I think you left. I ended up in the pool in all my clothes. It was really like a Liz Cullen moment.
Pool, but she was done. I was like, okay, let's go.
No, I like cannonballed in the pool with all my clothes on. And then, of course, you go on the Allie Colbert. So I DM Allie. And I didn't know you and Chantel were dating at this time, which is crazy because, like, obviously we're all homies. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then Chantel's like, my girlfriend. And I was like, yo, Allie, my brain is blown. You didn't come to the party because you and whatever, that was all happening. And then I was like, you're traveling. And then I was like, this woman had like my dream. I was like, is she cool? Is she, what's up? I'm like, she's dating my homie. And Allie was like, you will fucking love her. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So you were like this close to me. And then you guys came to Lessons in Chemistry, which was so sweet. And I'm like, oh my God, she's
by the way, person. We're very upset with that show. Very
the dog episode. I mean,
we couldn't. We had to stop.
Rachel was hysterical.
I closed the computer and Chantel's like, we don't like that show. We're like, we don't, it's too much. Like, it's too much emotional. Does it get happier?
It gets happier.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so then I was like, fuck, I love this girl. No wonder and then, of course, I like get home from the event and I was like, Rachel, remember when the the soup girl was at the pride party, but I didn't meet her. And Chantel's dating her. She's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Chantel is dating her. I was like, and then she keeps on going on Ali's show because apparently they're besties. And like, I don't even know. And I was like, and she came and I'm in love with her. And then the whole thing in New York happened. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, I'm so happy you're here. And I always tell people the truth. And the truth is that I was deeply jealous of you for a long time.
I was obsessed with that show. We found footage of me when I was like 6th grade watching it, like obsessed with John Hanson. My first pilot that I ever did in LA was like 2007, 2008. It was called Camera Cafe. So bad. The whole pilot took place like from a vending machine camera, like that. The whole show was there. Like just happened in front of the vending machine.
Wait, what? Camera cap? Like, so you would like prank people in a cafe?
No, it was like a scripted show about all these people that worked in an office. It was like an office type show. But then it was always in front. Eva Longoria like produced it. I thought I had made it. I was like, oh my God, my first year in LA. And
I have that same story.
This girl, Jill Benjamin, was on the show. And she was like, the wrap party, she's like, do you guys mind if I bring my boyfriend? And we're like, well, it's just kind of like us, but sure. And we're hanging out and John Henson walks in. I'm like I'm freaking out at this point. I'm like, I'm like, you guys, oh my God, John Henson's here. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, do you think he would like go out with me? Do you think he would like, and she's like, that's my boyfriend. So they're married now. They have like 2 kids. Jill Benjamin's incredible improviser, like actress, and they're still together. And like, and before the show, he was so sweet. He gave me such incredible advice. Like I was sitting in my office, I called him, and then I got to meet Hal Sparks too. And he was like really like sweet. And they all had very different experiences.
Did Joel McHale call you?
Joel McHale was very upset about the whole thing.
Yeah, he seems like a little bitch like that.
Well, it kind of hurt my feelings because, sorry, this is like, I'm spilling a little tea, but like before the show even began, I did an entire year of promo for it. Like I'm talking
acutely. Hi, I'm Liz Cully and I'm acutely aware because I also lived below Sunset Boulevard at that time. And you were where a comedy club was.
It was literally like, I was probably doing like 30 interviews a day. It came out in 13 different countries. That's so I was doing like French press, blah, blah, blah. And they did such a good job. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be such a big deal. Like I cared so much about it. And this is a year of not getting paid, just doing press, like doing photo shoots, blah, 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 everything for free. And I'm paying a publicist. And then, and in every interview, they're like, speak really highly of Joel and how like grateful you are to like be following such big footsteps and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, of course, I'm like Joel and blah, blah, blah. Like as the show's coming out, I did a show with him at the Laugh Factory and he had an okay set. And I was very much in my power that night and had like this crazy set. I got to meet him. These like epic photos got taken of us. Like everyone was like, oh my God, and I was like, any advice? And he was like, not really. Like he was nice, but like,
fuck that guy.
He excited,
get fucked. Nah.
But then he did a podcast.
No.
The writer and the kid. And they were like, Brian Callen's a friend of mine. And I know Brendan Schwab too, just from stand up. And they were like, so like, how do you feel about the new soup coming out? And he's like, oh yeah, good luck to that girl. Doesn't even say my first name. And they're like, do you mean Jade? And he's like, yeah, good luck to that her girl. Like, I hope she does well on it. Like after we had met and done a show together. So I was really, really butthurt. Like really upset because I didn't choose to like, he didn't run the show anymore. Like he wasn't on the show anymore. So it's like nothing personal to him, but I was like butthurt that he couldn't be like, Jade's great. Like I just did a show with her. Like after I had done like literally a year of like speaking so nicely about him. So that was a bummer.
I hate everyone. Here's the thing that you'll learn about me quickly is that when you're my friend, I will murder everyone.
That's how I am. I'm like,
so also fuck him. He can get fucked. That's so petty and so transparent and so obvious. I mean, listen.
A bummer. And multiple people sent it to me. And I was like,
of course they did. You're like, dude, I got it. I saw it.
Yeah. And like, even for Brian Callen to be like, do you mean Jade? Like, like it was just such a weird thing. But yeah, the soup was the most heartbreaking experience my whole life too. Also, when I booked it, the woman who booked me was an executive at E! Who adored me. She'd been hiring me for like 10 years for like red carpet, talking head, like everything. Mm-hmm. And right before I got the soup, I did this pilot with Nick Cannon and it turned out really good. It basically became my audition tape for the soup. And then we got it and then she got fired.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Love her.
I used to go in for E! All the time.
Yeah.
They were great back in the day, actually. I never booked anything
powerhouse.
Kat Sadler and I talked about this many, many times. But yeah, it was cool back in the day.
It was
yeah.
like all I wanted to do was be a part of E! And like nightly news was like crushing.
I know.
Like, we had
Crushing.
like insane views. Daily Pop's even doing good again now, which is crazy. But yeah, so she got fired. So I was sort of like floating in the new exec. Like, I don't think he liked me very much. Like, I just don't think we were the same vibe. And we didn't see eye to eye on what we wanted the show to be. And there was a lot of like notes and like, they just didn't really let us do our thing. Like I had an incredible writer's room and like, we would just get so overly noted. They didn't want me to be too sexual. They didn't want me to be too mean. Like I just basically lost my entire edge. They scrubbed my social media of anything drug related. And like, I didn't really know like how to be once the show came out. Like I was so scared, to, like scare away ad people or like, you know?
Yeah. You're like, these pictures of me on Molly with my eyes that are just completely black are who I am. And you taking them down, like, was really hurtful. When
or like stuff or like butt photos or like me being raunchy, like any kind of stand up, you know?
When I got my current job, I got a complete internet background check. Now, the great thing about me, and I'm sure about you, is I am not a racist. So, and I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm like not a piece of shit. So I was not concerned. However, are there many, many drunken photos of me on said internet? Yes. Are there photos of me tripping my balls off on Molly, like thinking I look so fucking hot, like my makeup being like glittery, like blacked out eyes, just like in a camera? Correct.
But they don't know.
Did I also go on a Twitter rant against R. Kelly, which, by the way, I stand by.
Justified.
Yes, but what was funny is they put it through this like AI thing, which wasn't correct. So it was 27 pages of a report. And it would be like me in New Zealand, that's where my dad's from, with my brother, like drinking Marlboro Sauvignon Blanc. And I wrote, I'm in the hut and I'm feeling myself, which for anybody from the Bay Area, you know the reference to Mac Dre. And they wrote self-harm, illicit self-harm, like stupid shit. But what they didn't get was a viral video of me and Wiz Khalifa smoking weed together, which I personally have shared 500,000 times. Wiz Khalifa shared. Somehow that didn't make it. And it's me physically smoking. What?
And they didn't care because it's like a big name?
No, so I don't think they caught it. They caught like things that don't even make sense. It was like self-harm.
Like what? Like, why do I need to take this down? Or like, why?
I don't know. Well, I didn't take it down. So
it was one of me as a geisha and I like fought it. I was like, I'm a child in this photo. It was like a Halloween photo from when I was like 13. I was like, I'm not taking it down.
Well, yeah, those Halloween costumes, those will come for you, some people out there. I think, I was Cleopatra like 7 times in a row when I was a child, but it was more like the bangles versus like actual, anything that was a historical reference. It was more like I'm a blonde girl with like turquoise eyeshadow and it's 1993. And I was very excited about it. Why do you think, though? I mean, do you think it was the notes? Do you think it was the exact change? Do you think it was the watering down? Like, why do you think it didn't work?
I mean, it was COVID, ultimately, what canceled it. I mean, it's like we're literally pulling from reality shows and reality shows aren't being made.
Yeah.
Like all we had to pick from at that point was like Alaskan bush people. Like every sketch was about Alaskan bush people. We're like, how much more can we make fun of these teethless people? You know,
or like the show Alone, where you're like, they're alone.
Yeah. It's like them. It's just like a guy's blurred out dick. And we're like, that's crazy. And then we had like, anything within the NBC family. But like at that time, the Kardashians wasn't really funny. It was like when Kim was like a lawyer. So we just didn't have a lot to pick from. And then also like, it's a show that I did with an audience. And then I was just doing it in a room, just me and 2 camera people on my showrunner.
Yeah. The energy is like completely sucked out.
I watch it now and I'm like, ugh, like it's just. And then I got to do Hotties right after, which like literally brought me back to life. They just let me go. It was me and a writer. We just improvised everything, wrote everything on the spot. And you can see how much better it is. Like, I don't know, just how much more vibrant I am and natural I am. Like, I didn't even know what to do because they would go like, too much, you're using your hands too much. And then I would just like plant my hands and they're like, you're not moving your hands enough. So like, I just didn't know. Like, it was like,
yeah, it's like so hard.
Yeah.
That like talking head stuff is really difficult. I think, something I always struggled with, because I did a lot of like live concert hosting. It's how I met Rachel. Do you remember the Santa Monica Twilight concert series?
No.
Like
I
at
didn't
the
do that.
pier?
They did that?
I used to host them.
No way. On the pier?
Mm-hmm. For
Pier's
like
gross.
200,000 people.
So nice.
It was tight. But I did that, X Games, like things that were like in front of people live, like so I could just shit myself and be like so scared. But I struggled because what I loved about the soup and what I loved about you doing the soup eventually when I like relaxed and was like, maybe we can be friends. Maybe I'm in love with her. Maybe like that's why I'm so jealous. You know what I mean? Like who knows?
Yeah.
Or even Chelsea, quite frankly, because I think Chelsea lately, and I have come back to it 1,000 times. Like I know some people, I like idolize Chelsea. I've worked with a lot of the same people she is. We have a lot of mutual people. I've never met her. She's like become best friends with my very dear friend Renee, which kills me.
Never met her either, which is so wild. Because my showrunner was her showrunner for 11 years.
Do you remember Jay and oh my God, what's his name? Tony and Jay, those producers that did Bad Girls Club and Chelsea lately?
No,
Did you ever have a meeting with those guys?
I think so. That sounds wait, the production company.
Yes.
My friend, oh my God, my friend Kate used to work for them. They're no longer a company.
Yeah, I bet. They got
pulled it over like recently.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They took me out. They started Bad Girls Club and fucking, which was iconic.
Yeah.
And they started Chelsea lately, and then she moved on from Tony and Jay. Yeah, it's Tony and Jay.
Like Tony and Jay. Yeah, I think that's their production.
And there was like their little pictures. They took me out for dinner. I'll never forget. And this is like another moment where I was like, I'm rich. They're like, we're gonna make you into like the next Chelsea Handler, because basically Chelsea Handler like fucked us over. And I was like, woo! Like everything I did, when I was repped, it was like, Emma Stone meets Chelsea Handler, like all those stupid ways they would pitch me. But like that format was so good in my opinion. Like I loved her giving comics a chance. Like so many great people were on that show. But I always struggled with hosting because it can get so corny so fucking quick, where people are like, hi, I'm Liz Cully and I'm here from the like I would rather put my face into like boiling oil.
That's what it started to feel like to me.
Is that I was gonna say? Is that because it can go so quickly?
Funny to me. I'm just presenting stuff. I'm like, I could make this funny if you just let me, but you won't let me. And like, so I felt very like straitjacket, like
yeah.
And then when I got to do it on Hotties, I was like, see, if you would have just let me do this on the soup, this would have it would have been the show that you guys hired me to do.
Yeah. How do you feel like now being out as a queer woman? I don't know how do you identify?
I identify as pan.
Pan. But is that the same? Oh my God. Welcome to
this big discussion the other
day. Liz Cully having fucking hosted a million queer shows and is asking the question, wait, but pan, oh, I guess, yeah.
I'm into soul,
as opposed to polyamory, I suppose. You're not poly, you're pan.
I'm not into multiple partners. I'm just like, I don't really care about gender. Like I'm into whatever gender you are. Like
well,
I'm also
actually, let me give you another one though.
What?
Everybody's heard this 1,000 times, so I apologize, but whatever. Like subscribe to my Patreon and like like just do it. Omnisexual is what you could be as well. Do you know what that means? My goddaughter told me this because that's what she said. She was. It's when you are like like you don't really. Well, actually, maybe it's not. Because I always identified as bisexual. And then she's like, no, I think you're omnisexual, which means you're like sexually attracted to both genders. But also, I think I'm more pan now because let me tell you, these trans honey, I will get down on a lovely anybody of any gender expression, any non-gender expression.
Yeah, I just like a confident person. I'm like,
yeah. So see, there you go. See, I don't care. Maybe I'm pan now too. I love that it changes. All right. So you, as
I know because bisexual, nobody respects bisexuals. I want respect.
Nobody respects me anyway. I mean, like,
yes, they do. Don't say that. Also, you're in fall weather. Why am I dressed in a tank top? Is it cold in your house?
It is cold in my house. Also, because I have to like just pretend like I put on clothes. Am I wearing pajama pants? Up to you to decide.
Am I? I'm wearing jeans.
Oh, I'm not. I'm wearing pajama pants and no shoes. And I have like a very fancy sweater. And I was like, this
It
will
is.
make me look like profesh. But what I was going to say is, how is now being an out pan person? I don't even know if you use she, her. Do you use she, her?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to ask at my previous show, everybody like what their stuff was at the beginning. And then I feel like now Gen Z doesn't even care. So I was like, let me not be boomer and like move on with my questions. But I think it is important to make sure we don't misgender people. So, okay. As a pansexual woman, how is being an actor, a writer, a comedian, a host different? Or is it not different?
It's different in the sense that I have never felt like more confident. I feel more confident than I've ever felt. Like, I think it goes a lot has to do with Sean because she gives me so much. I'm like, I think she's so cool. She gives me a lot of confidence because she's so good with saying no. And I've always been like, but if I say no, I'm never, and so I feel more confident in a way that I never really felt before. And I also feel like I can make art that's a lot closer to my heart now. Like, I'm pitching things that are like about being a gay person, about being a gay immigrant, about, whereas in before I didn't feel like I had that ownership. I also didn't feel like I had the ownership of my culture until I went back to Brazil and was like more involved in Brazilian stuff. And so I finally feel like ownership of those two things, which took me like a really long time. I mean, I'm almost 40. So yeah, it feels different in that way, but acting and everything just feels kind of this. I mean, it sucks because anytime I go out for like an acting role that's like for a lesbian, they want like a super dykey,
welcome to my life,
short hair. And I'm like,
yeah.
But that's not at all what any of my friends, like I have a couple friends that look like that, obviously, but like not everyone's like a butchy, like that's not the funny thing to go, to do. So that's like frustrating that those stereotypes like haven't switched over. Like we don't see a lot of different type of lesbians on TV yet, or like gay people.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I was just with, lesbian on TV elite, Leisha Haley and Kate.
I saw. You better invite me to some of those parties because
I did invite you guys, but you were in New York.
Oh, I was like, Chantel did not tell me.
I know, but she told me immediately that you guys couldn't come.
Well, I have not met Shane. What's her real life name?
Kate. She's my best friend now. I don't know. You might have to work a little harder to be my
It might be a little uncomfortable for me. I don't know if I could like.
No, they're like so chill. We like literally hung out for 48 hours together. It was very wild. They're lovely.
She's it's all for everyone, right? Like everyone, she's that person. She's the Jonathan Taylor Thomas of lesbians.
She is. But you know what? Treat him mean, keep him keen. I was like, hi, I'm Liz Cully. What's your name? I can't help myself. You and I haven't really hung out. Like you saw me literally producing events. So we have to like just hang out normal.
Yeah.
Cause I just didn't
that was so fun. The appetizers were so good.
Oh, Courtney,
cute,
I know.
Little lasagnas.
She did a really good job. It was great. It was really fun. You know what was cool about that? And I feel like you'll really appreciate this is Courtney and I met. I was so fucking broke. I was working at MySpace. Woo! What a throwback. And it was like I barely had just gotten a first job, and she was dating a comic and was also working for Christina Tosi at Milk Bar in New York and working on her cookbook. And Courtney was dating her ex, who was very famous at the time. And like we would kind of hang. I was like in that crew, and we would kind of hang out. And it's not that it was just interesting to watch because we were both so much younger. We were like just here. She was kind of with this like famous person, like figuring it out, working also for like a chef who was becoming really famous, really finding her own footing. She ended up working with Natasha and Freya at Cool House.
Oh, cool.
And did their vegan ice creams. We've stayed in touch the whole time. Her boyfriend, her ex moved away and she's dated other people, but we always like kept really closely in touch. So when she and I had, had dinner or something like 7 months ago and she was telling me about lessons in chemistry, I was like, oh my God, that's great. And then Apple is my client. So when they brought it to me, I was like, you guys, not to be whatever, but like, I know Lee, I know Courtney, Lee is the showrunner. I was like, I actually like have to produce this for you because what an amazing moment for me to celebrate somebody that I've watched. I don't know. We like grew up together. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's been kind of like
that. Like
it was cool.
Started with, and then you finally get to do a job where you're both like making money, and it's like That's the best part of LA. People hate it. They don't think there's a lot of community here, but like there is this unspoken, like we're all these soldiers and we're like all just like trekking along and like
Yes.
chugging
Spitting
along
out
and
bullets.
hustling. And like, people from different times of your life. And so when you land in a place where you're feeling really good and those people are there, you're like there's this communal feeling of like, we did it. Like, look at us, like I
Well,
can't
and
wait.
it's fun that you're like in our little queer female group now, like in our world, because that even gets deeper. Like,
Like
I mean,
that.
everybody has sex with each other, but it's kind of great because you did this later. You like found someone that you're really, really, really connected with. Like, I mean, I met now in retrospect, like I met Rachel way younger. I'm like, wow, we've been together forever.
How long have you guys been together?
9 years.
Wowie, wow, wow, wow.
Wowies to wows. I'm like, are you
Wowie,
gonna
wow,
leave
wow.
me yet? You better not. Honestly, I'll just murder her. Like murder, murder, kill, kill, kill. Like she's not gonna go anywhere. We would have to work it out. Like there is no not. I'm like, I'm gonna pull some like it's 1950. There's no option. Like there is no option. We have to work it out. Like we've been through too much at this point. Where like I'm not
The
starting
investment is
over.
done. It's like there's no turning back.
There's no turning back. Like we're each other's family. Like we're not. This isn't like we're not. She has to deal with it. But what I was going to say is like, to your point, like we've all been through so much, but it's like really nice because I think I'm really starting to see as I almost turn, like as I approach 40, like we all really like help each other out or like really support each other. Like I had never even met Allie before and I got booked to like do this thing, but I couldn't do it because it was the Oscars. And I was like, hey, I don't really know you, but like we were talking on the internet, like, do you want this job? And she was like, yes. You know what I mean? Like it just, it's
Yeah.
like, how it works. And I really like love that. And since I was so jealous of you and was like, what the fuck for so long, like hate watching your Instagram stories, but now I just love you and you're dating somebody that I adore. And like,
Wait,
you're
I know
also,
that
it all
hurts
works
my
out.
feelings in a way, but it kind of also makes me feel good because I know exactly what you mean. Like I've had a couple of people, I won't name them, but like that I was like very paralleled with for so long that just
I
kept
am
getting.
not on your level parallel at all. I actually want to
Oh,
make that clear. I am not like shooting
that's
pilots like
smart. But
on.
there's this one actress who's literally booked, I'm not exaggerating, like 13 jobs that it was me or her, me or her. And everyone loves her. Everyone's like, oh, you and her have to be friends. And I'm like, I like literally can't do it because I have so much weird and I don't like jealousy. So like, it's this weird thing. Like I just have this one person that I'm like, God, if I would have gotten all those jobs, I would have like been at a completely different level,
Yeah, but like, there's something to be said, as you kind of said like a few minutes ago, like you've never been more confident. You're feeling really in your skin. Like, I don't know. Like, I do believe that things happen when you like, it's like time when time and preparation meet each other, or
Yeah.
whatever that thing is.
But I didn't know who I was. I didn't like, I got a lot of things really early on, like a lot of opportunities that I like probably wasn't fully ready for. Like,
Yeah.
what I mean? I didn't have a super clear point of view when I got the soup. I knew I wanted to be funny and like I wanted to look hot and be funny and hot. That's a very surface level thing. And now I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things that I would have done differently, obviously. And I have such a more distinct point of view and I would have handled situations differently where I would have like put my foot down more versus being like, whatever you need, and
Where you were actually like, actually, Joel McHale fucking sucks and he's on roids. I'm just kidding. That was for me, not you. Are you dead? Because it's so true. He had some like weird body glow up where I was like, you know what? This ain't it. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Not gonna lie, he's pretty attractive. I was like, oh.
Oh, is he really attractive?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Like he's very tall. Like,
oh yeah, I did know that.
Yeah,
I did know that actually. I saw
he's
him
a bit
somewhere.
striking. He's a bit like, whoa, like you feel his energy very quickly. Like he's one of those people that just like lights up room. Like he's got that thing.
I know. I talk about that a lot. That like celebrity thing. It's weird. They like vibrate in rooms and you're like,
yeah, like
fuck.
you can see like when I met my girlfriend, like at this event, like she walked into the room. I was like immediately, I was like, who the fuck is that? Like,
oh, I love that. She's great.
She met my dad before she met me. My dad was at the event and they were speaking Japanese. And I was like, who is that?
Yeah, she like pulls out the Japanese and you're like, and the accent. I get it. Yeah, that's such a vibe. What do you think is missing in entertainment for people, like specifically like for
gay
you?
Funny things that are realistic. Gay funny things that are realistic, like gay people hanging out and doing gay things that are like And it's not like a weird gay group of people that are like super fabulous, like that. Like we've seen that. Like, but like there's also a spot for, I mean, there's no Brazilian person on TV that people are like, that's a Brazilian American actress, really.
Yeah, who is that person? You.
Yeah, me, hopefully one day. And then there's also a missing thing of like, I mean, I'm trying to make it, but of like people who come out later in life and the implications of like that and what that looks like. And, dealing with like I have a couple friends who are just recently came out and were like married to men and have children. And they're like going through the transition of like dating women now. And it's like, hey, I have 2 kids. So like these
it's so much more common than I think people realize. A lot of the audience that you're here with right now is a lot of women who are either bi-curious or in marriages. And they're like, well, Liz is like a palatable queer person that I want to listen to, which is why I made this show broad, but like gay. Because here's the thing that you really touched on it. Like the gay troping stuff, I really don't fit that box. I mean, that's actually quite frankly why I like throw a lot of my own events, because I felt so uncomfortable in WeHo. I even felt really uncomfortable in like Echo Park, like lesbian shit. I'm like, I literally
never been to any of it. Like, I don't even know when it's going on. Like, I have never been to like a gay, like a lesbian event in LA. I've never been.
You did. You came to mind. But but for me, but it wasn't like lesbian. I mean, it was because of who I invited, but it wasn't because that's the thing is like for me, I find those groups, I've always found them not very friendly. I literally look like a bougie, like chubby Olsen twin from Brentwood. They're confused why I'm there. They're like, what? Do you know what I mean? And I
That's
can't.
Like it's body dysmorphia. It's like fucking.
What did you say?
You have body dysmorphia.
Oh, like crazy. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm so pissed I can't be on Ozempic because I'm trying to have a kid. You have no idea.
My friend overdosed.
What?
My friend overdosed on it.
Nah, I got that Mexican shit. It was perfect. It was wonderful. I did it forever. It was like low dose Ozempic. It's not even called Ozempic. It's not even called Mounjaro. It was amazing. I loved it. Can't be on it. People talk about wanting to drink alcohol and do drugs whilst pregnant. Give me that.
Like, just give me that Ozy.
Give me that Ozy, baby. That Zempies. But I go to those spaces. I don't really feel welcome. I don't really feel like it's like indicative of what I'm interested in. Even some of my friends, like I made the joke, like we went to a birthday party. I like dressed up in my like brand new Ula Johnson and like my pet. And I was like, Rachel, we're going to a dinner party. And we show up and it's like some fucking weird sex party where I'm like, you guys, like I am tired, old. I like to talk about like interesting things.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know what I mean? And so I agree. I think also a lot of that has to do with showrunners and writers. And I mean, do you think that the Generation Q L Word was successful in?
I didn't watch it. Who do I know that's on the show? Tig's wife. I know her from forever ago, Stephanie. From a million years ago.
She was great on it, actually.
I never watched it, but like the L Word was like important to me in college. Like I remember watching it and being like, wow. And then it felt like such a fairyland that they made up. Like I did not believe that was like an actual, there's not groups like that. Like, where are they? Like, all my friends were like so specific and like kind of more butchy and like, more of the dykey variety. And so I never had really seen like a group of successful gay people sort of like, and now that's like, our life. And I'm like, oh, wow, there's not really anything like that. And also I don't want it to just be for gay people. I want it to be a show that's just
for everybody,
funny and for everybody. And that like, not only lesbians watch it for like the sex scenes,
Yeah, I think that's where I've really struggled because, I'm like gay, but not that gay. You know what I mean? So we're
similar. I feel like I'm a little more like boyish than you, but I feel like we're a similar type of like, what's it like a lipstick? Or lipstick.
But also like in my life, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I agree. I think it's an interesting thing. I think there's a huge, and actually my new best friends, Kate and Leisha, I just like wanted to mention that again. If you were wondering, we talked about it. I was like, yeah, I think, and when I was acting, which like, thank God I don't really anymore, but that was so fucking tough because they're like, okay, you have this deep voice, you're funny, but like you look like a chubby Olsen twin from Brentwood. Like it doesn't fucking work. And I was just like,
yeah, they don't know where to put me because I'm like Like in commercials, it works because I can really do like a sassy mom, but like in
Girl, get that
me, they
commercial.
were
Get
always
that
like,
national syndication money though. Boo! That's like
not what it used to be, but I'll
oh,
take it.
fair enough.
But now it's like I'm in this weird in between where I can play a little younger, but I also like I'm not old enough to be like I go out for like mom of 13-year-olds. It's like nobody believes this. Like I can dress it up, but like
Nobody believes that.
but nobody really knows where to put me. I'm like the Jewish neighbor. Like, I don't really have a path. And so now it's about creating my own path and believing that people want it and people want to hear my story. And I finally feel like confident enough to want to tell it. So I think like even with comedy for a long time, I wouldn't even invite people. I'm like, come, but like, and now I'm like, yeah, come to my show if you want. It's good. It's all changed for me. And it's so weird because it's just a simple little in my own head. Like maybe it's the self-hate that I just like was like, I'm done with it. I'm done hating myself. Like I already did it for like 38 years. Like I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired of it. Like I just let me eat a pussy. Like
did you say let me eat a pussy?
yeah, like I just want to eat a pussy and tell everybody about it. That's all I want.
Well, on that note, yeah, I mean, I do think that the freedom and liberation of that is, I mean, all jokes aside, it really does make a difference. And I think
My
even though
life.
it's
Yeah.
cheesy when people are like, confidence is the sexiest thing, it like actually is. Because I have fucked some super technically ugly people that had fabulous confidence and they just they could get it.
I agree. I dated a super ugly dude for a long time. He was just so funny.
Yeah, I dated a really ugly guy.
You know what I mean? It's like
And he just fucking went down on me like you would not believe. I was like, damn, okay, shit. I wonder what he's up to these days. He was a skater. I went through that horrible.
Gadzooks dude with like a piercing right here. That's when I first got HPV. So.
First, don't you just get it once?
No, you get rid of it now. There's different strains, which I didn't know. I thought I would have it for the rest of my life, but
how did you get rid of it? Like a shot?
It goes away. It goes away. But I remember when the doctor told me, and I was like 16 or 17, I was like, my life is over. Like, and I would like sit partners down and go like, I just want you to know I was exposed to HPV in 19.
Can I tell you the funniest story? My cousin is so great. She's so funny. And my aunt, her mother, is like 86 years old, goes to Burning Man, like hosted our wedding, like just the best fucking person. Yeah. Like there's nobody more full of life than my aunt, right? So apparently my cousin goes to the gynecologist and like finds out that she has HPV, which by the way, like I think I had it or
everybody has had it.
Like I'm not sure. So we went on vacation together this summer and we all just like sit around and like tell funny stories, you know, whatever. And she was like, dude, I went to the gynecologist and, you know, they told me I have HPV. Sorry, I'm one of those people that if I find the story funny, I like can't tell it because I'm laughing so hard. So annoying. I apologize. And she tells us that she's at home and she gets the phone call and she looks at my aunt and she's like, okay, like, you know, I have like a case of, you know, HPV. And she's like, oh, okay, like, what is it? You know, and my cousin's like, yeah, like it isn't life harm, whatever. It's fine. So this woman comes over who happened at the time to be the mayor of like the little town that we all lived in, who also I think happens to be like one of the founding members of Burning Man. Like she was at my wedding, like whatever. She's lovely. Yeah. She comes in, my aunt goes, she goes, oh, you know, how's everything going? Like, how are you? How's, you know, your daughter? She goes, oh, it's fine. You know, we just found out that she has a little case of the HIV.
That's
and my cousin was
hello.
Oh, just a little case of the HIV. And he was like, no. Dying. Anyway, maybe I think it's more funny because I know these people. I lost it. Could you imagine? My cousin was like, no, mom, no, HPV. But then like to be arguing in front of this like 80-year-old woman, like, no, it's not HIV, it's HPV. Anyway, fucking wild.
HPV.
Anyway, so on that note, I have never regretted being jealous of someone I would love more than you.
I'm really happy we've connected. Yeah, it's meant to be. And I think we're going to do a lot of fun stuff together. I think people need to keep an eye out.
Make sure you check out Jade if she comes to a city near you for her live stand-up. I was driving down Sunset the other day and saw her up in the big lights at the Comedy Store, which was exciting. I almost crashed my car trying to take a photo of her digital billboard. Thank God I didn't die or crash my car because I can't afford to do either of those things. If you aren't subscribing to the Patreon, would love to have you there. Little as $3 a month. Buy me a coffee, can of soda, depending on which airport you're in, for full videos and, more content. And check me out on TikTok, where all the cool kids are. Emma Woolman and I, we went semi-viral on there. So definitely trying to do more fun things with that.